Hello, I'm Beth Tudan, the Executive Director of the League of Women Voters of the Fairfax Area. I'm here to talk to Lois Page, who is a 50-year member of the League of Women Voters, about her involvement with the League and also about her involvement with the Turning Point Suffragist Memorial. Lois?
Well, of those 50 years in the League, a number of them were spent on the Fairfax board and also on the board of the League of Women Voters of Virginia. But somewhere along the line, I got caught up in the Turning Point Suffragist Memorial project, and I have served on its board ever since. It all began a dozen years ago. The Fairfax League was contacted by the Nova Parks people.
The Nova
Parks, it's a Northern Virginia Regional Park Authority that has a number of like Algonquian and so on, and also Occoquan Regional Parks. So they asked us whether we were interested in getting involved in helping create a suffragist memorial that would be built in Occoquan Regional Park, which is in fact part of the historic prison grounds where scores of suffragists were illegally imprisoned for picketing the White House in 1917, seeking the vote.
So I understand that they were the first ever to have actually picketed the White House. That had not been done before.
Yeah, I believe that is true. And these ladies spent, they took turns. They came from all over the country. They stood there silently in all kinds of weather. And in fact, began to be referred to as silent sentinels. And so once they were, once that was...
so they ended up being arrested.
They ended up being arrested for blocking the sidewalk.
Blocking the sidewalk and taken to the DC jails. And so one DC jail was in DC and another one actually was in Fairfax County.
That's right.
In Lorton, Virginia, right? And so they were taken there.
Very southern Fairfax County along the Occoquan River, and Prince William County is across the river. So it's right down there. Beautiful park. And the building is no longer there, but it was part actually of the DC prison system.
Right.
So that's how it began. They were jailed in brutal conditions, actually. That was to keep these uppity women under control. They were tortured, they were beaten, they were force-fed, and they went on hunger strikes. And so when we heard about the possibility of memorializing this whole effort, we said, yes, you can count on us.
Very good. So I understand that they were force-fed through their noses.
Yes, exactly. It's not a pretty sight.
Right. So now here we are 100 years later in 2020. It's the 100-year anniversary of the founding of the League of Women Voters and also of the passage of the 19th Amendment granting women the right to vote. So where are we now with the Turning Point Suffragist Memorial?
Well, we've been working for those 12 years. We've been raising money. We've been hiring an architect and poring over plans. We've been hiring contractors. We've been putting together a huge memorial celebration that was supposed to be on August 26th, the actual anniversary of the passage of the amendment. And we thought we would have maybe 2,000 people there. You know, there were people from all over the country really wanted to come to this dedication.
And I have a photo. I actually have a photograph of on the screen right now of the groundbreaking from November of 2019. Right. I see you there and Kathleen Pablo and Pat Worth and Sharon Bulova, quite a few League members and also government officials. So now, has the pandemic had any impact on this? Is everything ready to go to have the celebration on August 26th, Women Equality Day?
Well, guess what happened? A pandemic occurred.
Oh, no.
Our plans to put together an event have been basically had to be put on hold. We just can't foresee being able to get all of those people down to Lorton at that time. And so So right now we're looking forward to celebrating the 101st anniversary
Okay.
of the amendment. We're also planning on a video that's going to come out on the day of the event, kind of showing what's down there and what our plans are for the future. So we will do something on that day, but not quite the plan that we had in mind.
Has anything happened as far as donations? I know that you've been for the last 12 years raising money for the memorial. Has anything happened? Has the pandemic affected that?
Oh yes. By early March, we thought we had it all. We nailed down enough money to do the plan, to construct the memorial the way it had originally been conceived. And all of a sudden we had a pandemic, and the final funds that were coming from 3 government entities dried up. They were forced to, they've been forced to pull back on their budgets, and we just we just don't have enough money. We will have to construct it in stages, but we will. The suffragists were persistent, and so are we. We're going to keep going.
On the screen, I have something for the Suffragist Memorial, so where it shows the donation page, suffragistmemorial.org/2020-2/. So anyway, you can go to the website and look for donate. So
yes, we of course would be delighted to have that happen, and the sooner we can get additional funds, the sooner we can continue our efforts. We will have something to see down there. We will have a plaza, 3 wonderful statues, including Carrie Chapman Catt, who is the founder of the League, and she is in a primary focal point. We'll have Alice Paul, and carrying her banner, and these are being donated by the Women's Suffrage Centennial Commission, and are being forged right now in Utah, and will be delivered in early August. So
oh good. So there's still going to be something. It's just going to be in stages.
Right.
Yeah. So Carrie Chapman Catt, you mentioned her as one of the founders. She was the founder of the League of Women Voters.
Exactly.
She, in 2018, I believe, yes, we were in Chicago. The League had a convention there. And the keynote speaker was Elaine Weiss, who wrote The Woman's Hour, and she was doing a research, and she said that there was a lot of fundraising 100 years ago having to do with the passage of the 19th Amendment, helping the League of Women Voters. And a little boy came home to his mother and wanted a nickel or something. And she said, well, what is it for? And he said, well, it's for Charlie Chaplin's cat.
Oh, yeah.
So he heard that. That's what he heard. He understood Charlie Chaplin's cat rather than Carrie Chapman Catt.
Okay. Okay. Well, I hadn't heard that story. That's great.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, Lois. Thank you very much. And I hope that everyone will, times are tight right now, but think about donating for the Suffragist Memorial. So this can be built in what we want to honor the women who fought so hard for the 19th Amendment and help us with our rights that we're celebrating today.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.